when there is a deflection by the defensive player, and I was trying to give a pass for my teammate, and the other teammate receive it. In this case, there is no assist. We have a new fast break definition. So points score quickly, maximum 8 seconds, and at full speed by a team before their opponent has time to set up their half-court defense. We have new definition in free throw. So if the wrong player is attempting a free throw, the officials, referees will cancel them. And in this case, you have to delete the free throw attempt or free throw made in case it's entered, and you have to add a team turnover. Turnovers, now the 5-second violation could be a team turnover or player turnover, and we have new on basket definition. So on basket, it's a player turnover if his team is in possession before scoring the on basket, and it's a team turnover when a wrong player is attempting a free throw for a team. So this is the changes. That happened after 2018 in the FIBA Stats manual. However, if you need the copy for it's the point score quickly at maximum 8 seconds and at full speed by a team before their opponent has had time to set up their half-court defense following a change in possession. Previous action, it doesn't matter, so it could be FGM, inbound pass, defensive rebound, or turnover. I will show you like few examples regarding the fast break points.
تنبح بالليل ساعتين انا ومازن عاد نعرف انه يمشي الحال الايميل.
So this is a fast break situation. Here, the half-court defense, the defensive team, they are not yet set in their half-court defense. Okay, and that's why it's a fast break situation. So look at me, look with me. Look, the red team are not set yet. They are still running, and not set there in their half-court defense, and that's why it's a fast break. Another example, after a free throw made, again, you can see number 13 is not yet set in his half-court defense, and that's why it's a fast break situation. So what we care about, that we have the 5 defensive players set in their defense, either man-to-man, zone, half-court press, or whatever. What's most important is the defensive player is set in his half-court defense, the 5 players. That's what we care about, okay? Even if you have 4 offensive players, but 5 defensive players set in their half-court defense, in this case, there is no fast break, okay? So we care about the defensive players, the 5 defensive players to be set in their half-court defense. So a fast break situation is also possible after offensive rebound. So let's say we have a layup miss, then offensive rebound and tip in the fast break situation, and in this case, the fast is happening after offensive rebound. I will show you one example regarding this. Type of shot doesn't matter, so it could be FGM or even free throw resulting from any foul committed during fast break situation. So the free throw from team penalty or a sportsmanlike foul count as fast break point if the foul stop the fast break, like this example. So here, look, the player was starting to go to the fast break, and the foul was committed. So this foul that happened stopped the fast break situation. Okay, that's why if the team is in team penalty and the player score any free throw he scores, it's a fast break point. But if the foul happened before a fast break situation took place, in this case, it doesn't count as a fast break point. Look here, number 11 still didn't go for a fast break point. Okay, and that's why it's the foul. Even if he scored a free throw, it's not a fast break situation, and the points won't be fast break points. So what we have to remember always regarding fast break, it's 8 seconds to score at full speed and before setting the half-court defense. Rebound. So as I said, after every missed shot, there must be a rebound. Okay, and the rebound is not necessarily awarded to the player who catch and hold the ball after a missed shot. So the first player controlling the ball can be the one tipping it, the teammate. Okay, so okay, the rebound is to control the body, to have 100% control of the ball and the body. Okay, but in some cases, the player controlling the ball is the one who was giving the tipping pass to his teammate. Okay, so I'm trying to get a rebound and I tip it to my teammate, and that's why the rebound will be for the player who give this tip it. We have always to avoid the mini possession if there is no 100% control of the ball and the body, and this is very important. So this is new in the rules. So instead of giving, let's say, rebound, then turnover, then steal, let's say, for the other player, in this case, we're giving rebound to the other player directly. Okay, since this won't affect too much the efficiency of the player. Okay, because it's a plus and minus. So let's say he got a rebound, then turnover, then steal. So this is plus, minus, plus. So we are trying to avoid this mini possession and give rebound directly to the other player or the other team. So after each missed FGA or last free throw where the ball will be live, there must be a rebound, okay? This rebound can be defensive rebound, can be offensive rebound, can be player rebound, and can be team rebound. So if none of the players got control of the ball, okay, and the ball lands out of bounds, in this case it's a team rebound. Or if there was FGA and no one get control of the ball and the referee whistle a foul before anyone getting control, in this case we give team rebound to the team in possession. Okay, but after every and each FGA, there must be a change of possession. We have 3 exceptions only. After a missed free throw attempt where the ball will not be live. So let's say if we have unsportsmanlike foul or technical foul and there was an inbound after the free throw, this is first exception. The second exception, at the end of the buzzer, so the buzzer sound before gain of possession, and the second, if there was a shot, air ball, and there was a 24-second situation, in this case there is no rebound. Only in those 3 cases there is no rebound. Okay, in all the other cases there must be a rebound, either offensive, defensive team, or player rebound. So what we try to do, so the concept for us is to avoid the mini possession. So we try to avoid the rebound immediately followed by turnover when there is not 100% control of the ball and the body. Instead, we award the rebound for the other team or a player. Okay, I will show you 2 examples, and I think you will know it more. So look here. Here there was a 3-point attempt. Then the yellow didn't control the ball yet. So instead of giving him a steal, we're giving the rebound directly for the red player. See again. Okay, so directly we're giving the rebound to this red player. Another example. Here in this case, so there was no control of the ball and the body for number 10, and instead of giving a rebound for number 10 turnover out of bound number 10, we're giving directly team rebound for the red team. Okay, so this is the concept of the mini possession. We're trying to avoid giving the rebound immediately followed by turnover. So in this case, we give rebound to the other team or player. Now we talk about the assist. So this is the new definition. It's any pass that lead directly to a teammate scoring, including scoring from free throws, is an assist. So we have three cases in the assist. The first one, if the pass is inside the paint and who scores it from inside the paint, he could have only 1 feet outside the paint, but he should stay inside the paint. So this is an assist. In any pass to a player, any outside the paint, if he score without dribbling, is an assist. Or if he score with 1 or more dribbling, is an assist if the shooter does not have to beat his defender in a 1-1 situation. So the defender should not be in front of him and the basket. In this case, the help side defender are not relevant in this case, and the defense out of balance are not relevant. So this is the third one, is the much more difficult one. So if there is no defense, so when I'm giving the pass for a teammate, there was no defense between him and the basket, so he doesn't need to beat him in a 1-1 situation. Even if he made 1 or more dribblings, in this case, there is an assist. Okay, the help side defender, so let's say in pick and roll situation, if the help side come to defend the player, we don't care about him, and the player out of balance, especially in zone defense, we don't care about him. I will show you a few examples regarding this. Now let's see the first option. So 3 options for the assist. Any pass to a player inside the paint who score inside the paint is an assist. So this is easy. So if the ball is received inside the paint and scored inside the paint, however dribble what was happening inside the paint, in this case it's an assist. Okay, because the offensive player inside the paint has only 3 seconds to score. Look here, there is one leg outside, the other inside, but she stays inside, and in this case it's an assist. If she went outside with both legs, in this case there is no assist. The second one, if he score without dribbling, is an assist outside the paint. So if the player received the pass outside the paint but score without, in this case it's an assist. Now outside the paint, if he score with 1 or more dribbling, is an assist if the shooter does not need to beat his defender in front of him and between him and the basket in a 1-1 situation. So as I said, help side are not relevant in this case. So if the shooter beats his defender is in a 1-1 situation where the defender is facing him and is between the shooter. So look here, he received the pass. This is his main defense. He was blocked by a screen. So in this case, there is no, if his main defense is not between him and the basket, and he does not have to beat him in a one-on-one situation, this guy is the help side defender, okay, that we don't care about him. So that's why this is an assist situation. So look again, it was blocked, so no defense between him and the basket. His main defense is not between him and the basket, and that's why it's a assist situation. Same concept here. This is the help side defender that we don't care about. So this same concept, pick and roll situation. This is his main defense, not between him and the basket. It doesn't have to beat him in a one-on-one situation, so this is an assist. The one here defending at the end, it's the help side defender that we don't care about. So assist if the driver player is driving immediately and the defender is out of balance, especially in zone defense. Help side defender should not impact the decision whether the award the assist or not. We have a small gray area in this definition, the beat his defender in one-on-one situation. So this is especially in the pick and roll situation, and sometimes we give if it's a too gray situation, we give the decision for statisticians in court to decide whether to give an assist or not. We use the same principle for faster break situation with the pass to a player at half court. So if the pass is received in the own half court in a faster break situation, there is no assist. The pass should be received in the other part of the court. So no assist in fast break situation if pass received in the own half court. No assist when the pass does not reach the player it was intended for, but ends up accidentally with a different player. The assist is awarded for a free throw made the same way as the FGM. The foul in act of shooting and makes at least one free throw of the free throws. Okay, I will show you a few examples. So look, while receiving the ball, her main defensive was not between her and the basket. It was blocked in a pick and roll situation. In this case, there is an assist. This is the help side defenders that we don't care about her, and it should not impact our decision to give the assist or not. Here, the player beats his defender in one situation, and that's why it's not an assist situation. Here, the defensive player went out the screen in a good way. She kept defending the player, and that's why it's not an assist situation. So inside the paint, if he score one of his free throw, it's always assist. And this is what we call curved out of balance. So this is out of balance, okay? So as I said, the assist, player score inside the paint, always assist, player score without dribbling, assist, player with one or more dribbling when receive the ball does not beat his defender in one-on-one situation, defender between him and the basket and facing him, assist, driving immediately at defender, curved out of balance, it's an assist, or the other cases, no assist. Turnover steal, what you have to know that turnover is the same concept of the rebound. There is team turnover or player turnover. So the time violation is turnover. So the 5-second violation, now there is a new rule for it. If there is an inbound play, it's a team turnover. So if the player is on the court and there was a double team and the referee whistle a 5 seconds, in this case it's a player turnover. 8 seconds, 24 seconds, they are a team turnover. 6 seconds, it's a player turnover. Technical unsportsmanlike foul, disqualifying foul by team in possession. It's the player. If the player is on the court, it's a player turnover. If the player or if the bench or coach foul, it's a team turnover. On basket, it's a turnover for the player if his team is in possession before scoring the own basket. And it's a team turnover when a wrong player is attempting the free throws for a team. What you need to know as well, that in order to call a turnover, there must be a change in possession for turnover or turnover steal situation. Otherwise, no action is necessary to take. So I will give you an example. If there was steal situation, turnover situation, but there was no change of possession. So the other team gained the ball again. So turnover steal, but there was no change of possession. In this case, we don't call all the turnover steal, we call only the last one. Okay. In this case, we're trying to avoid any possessions as well. It's very important to identify the source of turnover, and it might be 2-3 actions ago. And that's why sometimes we cannot follow the official's call, and the official will call the last action, but the statistic action is earlier. Steal situation must include touching the ball, so there is a deflection in order to have the steal. The steal situation does not require controlling the ball. This is not the same concept as in the rebounding. So if I deflect the ball and I made the touch, but my teammate got the steal, got the ball and controlled the ball, the one who is awarded the steal is the first one who touched it, or the first one will make the deflection. So it's me, not my teammate who took the ball. Okay. No steal is granted as a reward only for playing good defense, and no team steal, and no steal if the ball becomes dead. Okay, so if I made the deflection but the ball went out of bounds, in this case there is no steal. Okay, the ball should stay live. So what you have to focus and remember in the steal, that the first one who touch or make the deflection, he's the one who we award him the steal, not the one who got the ball. Okay, and no steal if the ball becomes dead. Block shot, it's a contact with the ball to change its flight and the shot is missed. It's a clear deflection of or rejection of a shot by defensive player. Irrelevant if the player left the hand of the shooter. What you have to know, that if the deflection or the ejection happened when the ball is above the shoulder, in this case there is FGA, block shot and rebound. And if this deflection happened below the shoulder, in this case there is a turnover steal if there is a change of possession. If there was no change of possession, then there's nothing. So I will show you examples. Look, if the deflection happen with when the ball is above the shoulder, in this case we have FGA, block shot and rebound. Here the deflection happened below the shoulder, change of possession, and in this case there is turnover and steal. We give steal to this guy and not to this guy. We give the steal to the first player or deflection. Okay. Okay, here below the shoulder as well. So there's no block shot, no steal, no turnover. So there is nothing. So the ball stay with the same team. Exception for no block shot if the player is clearing a ball bouncing off the rim, the block shot of a half defender on a shooting foul, or if the shot is successful. Player clearing a ball bouncing off the rim. I will show you example as you request. Okay, so from here, removing the ball from the rim, it's not a block shot situation. Okay. The block shot situation always include FGA, block, and rebound. Fouls, shooting against non-shooting foul. The shooting foul called as a foul in the act of shooting always result in a free throws execution. The non-shooting foul resulting in free throws only because of team fouls bonus. Double foul is recorded as personal foul, a non-shooting foul, plus foul drawn to each of the two players. We try to be precise in recording the foul drawn for the right player, and in this case, it helps in the efficiency of the players. Okay, and that's why we try to be as precise as we can. As for the technical foul, as you know, we have a rule change, and in this case, in the technical foul, if team A is in possession and team B was called for technical foul, and in this case, team A will be shooting the free throw. So same team in possession will be shooting the free throw. In this case, there is no change of possession, and that's why it's technical foul without a turnover. But if team A is in possession and technical foul was on team A, and team B is shooting the free throw, so since team A was in possession and team B is shooting the free throw, in this case there is a change of possession, and that's why there is a technical foul and turnover. For the offensive foul, it's always a personal foul for the player who made the offensive foul, and the turnover because it ended up with a change in possession. We have something called point of turnover, and those are automatically called by the software. They are all the points scored in the possession following an opponent turnover. A type of turnover doesn't matter. Type of shot doesn't matter. It could be 1, 2, or 3 points, and the time doesn't matter. And it does not have to be a fast break situation. Second chance points, they are all the points scored after offensive rebound. The type doesn't matter, and type of shot doesn't matter. I will a box score, so you will know more about the box scores. So this is the box score that you take usually during the game and after the game. So it has the player name and number, how many minutes they played, the field goals made and attempt, and the percentage, 3 points made attempt percentage. You have the free throws made attempt. You have rebound, offensive rebound, defensive rebound, team rebound, the total rebound, sorry. You have down the team and coach offensive rebound, defensive rebound, and the total rebound. You have the assist, turnovers, block shots, fouls, personal foul, and foul drawn, plus and minus. This is when the player entered the court, how much his team lost or win the lead, by how much. You have the efficiency. This is all the, it's it calculates all the positive that the player made minus all the negative, and in this case you give the efficiency. Okay, and you have down the points from turnover, points in paint, second chance points, fast break point, bench points. You have the biggest lead, biggest scoring run, how many the lead changes, and how many the time is tied and the time was lead. So this is the box score you take at the end of each score at the end of the game. Okay, guys, thank you for attending this webinar. If you have any question or suggestion regarding the FIBA Stats manual, please contact me on my email. And if you are interested to know more about the software that we use, the FIBA Live Stats software, we will do another webinar soon regarding the software that we use. Okay, thank you guys, and stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Maarouf.
Thank you.
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 Thank you, Mr. Maarouf.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Maarouf. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Maarouf.
Thank you, Mr. Maarouf.